Next on Worcester News Tonight, the city recognizing International Overdose Awareness Day through a candlelight vigil of memory and hope. Plus, a scandal at the State Police Union. Federal authorities arrest the former president in Worcester. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Anna Botari. The Worcester Department of Health and Human Services hosted a vigil for International Overdose Awareness Day. Worcester joins cities across the nation who have dealt with issues surrounding opioid overdoses. The city's Commissioner of Health and Human Services put the event together to remember those who have lost their lives and inspire those who want to make a change. Dr. Maddie Castile says one of the biggest keys to getting the number of overdoses down is to help people recovering from opioids make a smooth re-entry into everyday life.
I think looking at how we work with re-entry and working with the sheriff to try to, each person that comes out, how do we wrap ourselves around them and look for housing for them? How do we get them connected to health services? How do we connect them with jobs and education?
Dr. Castile says so far this year, the number of overdoses in Worcester is down. In the past year, the Worcester Regional Airport has added 2 new airlines. The airport's director says so far, so good. Delta began service in August and American airline flights started in the spring. Airport Director Andy Davis says the flights are doing well, and that is an important factor if they're going to increase service. He says their immediate focus is to encourage their current airlines to add more frequent service to their hubs.
For example, 1 or 2 additional flights for Detroit for Delta, or at least 1 or 2 additional flights to New York's Kennedy Airport with JetBlue. That's their major hub. They've got over 200 flights a day out of Kennedy, and if you have more than 1 flight, you have more options of not only flying out of Worcester, but to come into Worcester.
The airport recently added 2 new jet bridges in the terminal. The 3 airlines each have their own, and 1 is for future growth or to accommodate delayed flights. Dunkin on Shrewsbury Street revealed its new look today and took the opportunity to bring awareness and raise money for the daughter of a fallen Worcester firefighter. It's the latest store to unveil a next-generation design. During the grand opening event Wednesday, the owners, along with other local Dunkin business owners, presented the fire department an $8,000 check for the Ava Roy Fund. The fund is for the daughter of Worcester firefighter Christopher Roy, who died last year while fighting a fire in the city.
We wanted to make clear that Worcester remembers all year that we need to continue to support the families of first responders, not just in December, but year-round.
The location is also donating $1 from any cold brew or nitro coffee sold Wednesday to the fund. The former president of the Massachusetts State Police Union is arrested by federal authorities this morning. Dana Pullman went before a judge today. The Worcester man is facing several charges, including fraud and conspiracy. Our Brittany Schaefer has more.
The allegations against Pullman span from 2012 to 2018. He allegedly spent tens of thousands of dollars using a union credit card.
A former state police union chief is arrested in Worcester Wednesday. The FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office says he used union funds for personal reasons.
We believe Pullman wielded the union like a criminal enterprise, running it like an old-school mob boss, conspiring with Lynch to steal tens of thousands of dollars from its members and the Commonwealth. In carrying out their schemes, they crossed over the thin blue line to committing felonies.
Agents arrested 57-year-old Dana Pullman and 68-year-old State House lobbyist Ann Lynch. Both are facing a number of charges, including wire fraud and obstruction of justice.
Pullman essentially took money from the pockets of fellow state police.
Their actions were, without a doubt, disgraceful, underhanded, and fueled by sheer greed.
Guy Glotis owns the Glotis Group, which has lobbied for a different state police association. He says it's difficult to regulate union activity.
If the allegations are true, it's very disturbing, and I think there'll be political ramifications for years to come. This is not the department of the state police. It's not the office of the state police. This is the union. It's very hard to regulate and oversee union activity, especially when it comes to expenditures.
Pullman allegedly used the union credit card to pay for meals, flowers, travel, and gifts. Neighbor William Donahue says the family kept to themselves, and it's surprising.
It's going to be a shock when the FBI arrests your neighbor. Never saw anything much of the guy up there. Not much action going on there, you know, so it's a big surprise to us, for sure.
Pullman and Lynch were released Wednesday on $25,000 bail each. In the studio, Brittany Schaefer, Worcester News Tonight.
Sturbridge police are asking for the public's help identifying a man. Police sharing these pictures of him in this vehicle. They say he was involved in an incident at the Marshalls inside of Hobbsbrook Plaza last night. Police say his behavior was lewd and caught the attention of someone who was passing by. If you look closely, you can see his face in the driver's side mirror. Anyone with information is asked to contact Sturbridge Police. Webster police arrest a man after receiving an anonymous tip about 1 kilogram of cocaine being shipped in the mail. 46-year-old Lissandra Bermudez Negron of Springfield is facing a trafficking charge. He was taken into custody after a brief struggle and striking a parked car. The cocaine was estimated to be worth about $30,000. This is the 2nd kilogram of cocaine Webster police have seized this year. While summer is winding down, there are still plenty of warm days ahead, and 2 area entrepreneurs are looking to help people stay cool with their adult freeze pops. Worcester natives Michael Meliconian and Nassim Audi are co-founders of Punch Pops. They came up with the concept 2 years ago after mixing alcohol and freeze pops they had in their cooler at the beach. They spent the next year perfecting their recipe before marketing the product. They say they spent 6 months learning flavor development and then a year field testing.
We did over 10,000 units with friends and family to refine the flavor, refine the ABV, and just basically make something that people loved.
It used to be us making them in my kitchen in his basement, so it's fun to see it from that to in the public and people we don't know. And it's been very positive feedback, fortunately. So.
Flash forward 2 years later, Punch Pops are now selling to 1,000 stores in the U.S. For more information on where to find them, you can visit their website at drinkpunchpops.com. The town of Uxbridge is not new to the marijuana businesses. The town says they hope to generate jobs and revenue by allowing more into the community. And the companies already in town say they're happy to be a part of the growing scene. Our Chandler Walsh has more.
Caroline's Cannabis gave the town of Uxbridge $92,000 after its first quarter sales.
We're seeing some excited customers come in and happy to be a part of it and share in the excitement. And we're seeing about 500 customers a day on average.
It won't be the only marijuana business in town. Interim town manager Peter Heckenbleichner says Uxbridge is looking to increase their retail permits from 3 to 6 and remove their cap on the number of growing facilities.
Current Board of Selectmen, I think, sees the marijuana industry as an economic driver. It sees it as a revenue source locally.
This week, Cultivate Holdings purchased land for a production site in town. Heckenbleichner says Uxbridge has 10 community host agreements now and expects 2 facilities under construction to be operating in the coming months. The businesses will generate hundreds of jobs and more revenue.
You know, municipal government where, you know, we scratch for every dime that we can and we try to spend every dime as if it was our own. You know, that is important. It will make a significant difference.
Heckenbleichner says Uxbridge is a popular spot for the marijuana industry because it's easily accessible and welcoming.
There are communities that have said no, we don't want anything, or they've got moratoriums while they think about it. And Uxbridge has embraced the business, and people know that.
Caroline's Cannabis owner, Caroline Frankel, says the town has welcomed her business with open arms. She expects more to join her in town and put Uxbridge on the map.
We're almost kind of setting up a tourist destination here in Massachusetts. And for something, for a town like Uxbridge, who hasn't really had, you know, big reason to come here, I think it's going to be great.
As for Cultivate, they say they're looking forward to expanding into Uxbridge. Their spokeswoman says it will allow them to increase production to meet a strong demand and add dozens of jobs to the economy. Heckenbleichner says this will bring Uxbridge another $100,000 to $150,000 a year. In Uxbridge, Chandler Walsh, Worcester News Tonight.
A donation from the Worcester Railers Booster Club to the Friendly House is just one of many helping Worcester Public School students before they go back to school. Superintendent Maureen Benenda says many students are in need of school supplies, and generous donations like these are always welcomed. Our Gretchen LaRosa joins us now with more.
The Worcester Railers Booster Club is giving back to the community by giving school supplies to those in need.
We do this every year, and last year we did 60, the year before that 30, now we're up to 72. Hopefully next year we'll break 100.
The Booster Club raises money during Railers games to be able to provide backpack essentials to kids ahead of the new school year.
They get 3 subject notebooks, pens, pencils, rulers, safety scissors, glue sticks, crayons, calculators, so everything is stuffed in the backpacks.
The Railers organization say they partner with the Friendly House after seeing how much they contribute.
They're really embedded in the community. They've got a solid record. They help out so many people.
Superintendent Maureen Benenda says it's important for students to have the necessary supplies to feel ready to tackle the new school year.
So we want students to feel excited, that we can't wait to see them and that they have that backpack and they're ready to get to work.
Now, with the new school year starting as soon as tomorrow for some Worcester students, Benenda says the school district understands that supplies are expensive, and if anyone has trouble providing them, to contact her office, and they will make sure students have the tools that they need. In Worcester, Gretchen LaRosa, Worcester News Tonight.